Hey everybody, I am here today for our mini training Thursday. I can't believe it's 2 o'clock already. This day is flying for me. I hope so for you guys too. So I did like an Instagram poll of like, what are some topics you guys would want to learn about from me in this format of these mini trainings where you can just catch the replay on YouTube or drop in on the live. And I did get a response for how to prioritize recovery the best way. And then I scheduled this out and thought like, pick 3 of the best things to focus on for recovery. And then as I started writing out what I was going to talk about today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to change that. So sorry to fake you out here, but we're still going to talk about recovery, but I'm going to talk about the hierarchy of recovery tools and things like that. So I think that you'll get more bang from your buck from this. And I actually talk a lot about this concept of this, we'll call it like it's like a pyramid of recovery protocols to help you feel the best and show you which ones you should be spending most of your time prioritizing, and then like the little things at the top that can still help, but they're not going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So I have to give credit where credit is due. This hierarchy, I used to call something similar like the lifestyle behavior hierarchy. And then a coworker and my coach, Kyle Ruth from Training Think Tank, put together an amazing graphic of what I have been talking about for a long time. And he has a really, really good way of expressing it a lot more intelligently than I can I can put into words. So I'm going to also, this pyramid I feature in a Morning Chalk Up article, and I will be sure to drop that link in the comments, because it's actually the article talks all about things to do now to help you succeed and prepare for the Open and crush it. So if you're someone looking to get better at the Open, be sure to check that out. I think everything in there still applies regardless of the format of when it comes out, or like without even knowing the exact dates of everything yet. I think it would still be helpful right now to still prioritize these things. So let's dive into it. I wish I could screen share with you, but I'm not that cool with technology, so this is what you get. But like I said, I'll drop the graphic in the article down below. So we're going to start with the base of this pyramid. So this pyramid, again, is to show you how to promote recovery in the best way so that you can return to your fitness the next day, not feeling as beat up as you could, and hopefully be able to bring the same intensity that you have to be able to complete whatever you have to do. So the base is sleep and rest. I wish I could change that for you, but I can't. So sleep, I joke, but I'm really serious when I say it is like the holy mecca, right? And it's about quality and quantity. So making sure that you're not getting disturbed multiple times in the night. The best way, the biggest thing, the bang for your buck I think you could go for there is just establishing a consistent sleep schedule. So bedtime and wake time around the same time every day of the week, not having a different one for the weekends, which I know tends to happen a lot. And making sure like you don't maybe have to be so precise about it, but staying within like a 15-20 minute window will just help your body get regulated to that. And then rest comes in a lot of different forms for everybody. So it doesn't like mean, go be a slug every day, but it's the things that help you fill up your cup that feel the best for you is what I mean when I'm talking about rest. So those are going to give you like the biggest bang for your buck. They're the base of the pyramid. And then the next is hydration and nutrition. And Kyle actually put a great pointer in that article that I should actually refer to often too, and probably don't express enough, but like water is way more of an essential nutrient than carbohydrates. I think a lot of times I get caught on preaching carbs because a lot of people come to me having tried low carb diets or having a fear of carbs. So I spend majority of my time helping people understand that, you know, we don't need to have food labels. No food group is superior than the other, and living with things in moderation. But that hydration is so important. It is, like he said, way more of an essential nutrient. So not just having proper water intake, but making sure you're supplementing with electrolytes as needed, whether it's a homemade version or you buy it from a trusted brand that you believe in. I think you will get more bang for your buck. And if someone were to ask me, what is your number one tip for weight loss, specifically fat loss, I would tell them drink more water. So make sure you're doing that. If you're unsure where to start with the hydration stuff, I do have a lot of other mini trainings on like how to crush your hydration, how to supplement with electrolytes, how to get more water in your day. So definitely check those out in my YouTube channel. I can also post that here as well. And then nutrition is big. I wish it was in the base for this pyramid, but it's not. Sleep still wins. I'd probably make a lot more money if that was the case, but it still is super important, right? How good are you at metabolizing the food you eat to express your fitness, right? And if you're not sure where to start, you could always hire a coach. You know, we at TCT are here to help you, and we want to be able to do that. I also think if you really, maybe you can't financially swing it, or you're not ready to commit to that, it's totally cool too. A good place to start is simply logging your food in like a macro tracking app for 2 weeks and just see what you're eating. I think that's really eye-opening for people and educational in a way that I can't sit down and tell you like what foods have what and what. Whereas say you have chicken for lunch, you can weigh how much you have, input it in, see how much protein, carbs, fats are in that. And you just like slowly start accumulating that knowledge. And I think the more you know, the better decisions you can make. So hopefully that's helpful for you. And then the next step up from that is cool down and breath work. So it's really important. I know for you people that go to class, you imagine this, you like have a strength portion you crush, maybe you even PR, right? Because that's always fun. And then you have to do Karen, 150 wall balls for time. And you crush that too because you're a savage, and I love that. And then you pop right up in your car because you have to get going to go pick up your kids from school, or you have to go to work, or have to go to the grocery store or wherever. You just did 150 wall balls, and now you're directly sitting into your car, and then you have to get out of your car, and we know that feeling isn't great. So making sure you take 5 to 10 minutes to cool down from what you just did and having your heart rate super elevated will be super helpful in promoting a quicker recovery. My favorite go-to move is sitting on a C2 bike for 5 to 10 minutes and nasal breathing only. I got this little tip quote from a book, and hopefully I don't butcher it, but it's like, mouth is for eating and nose is for breathing. So if we can keep our mouth closed and breathe through our nose on the bike, it'll be super helpful for also activating that parasympathetic system and just getting you into that rest and digest mode. And I think you'll see if you do a proper cool down and get your heart rate level back down before you proceed to the next task of your day, you actually might have a little more energy throughout the rest of the day, which is really nice. And that practice is super helpful for getting your HRV score up, because you're working on getting in and out of those two systems, fight or flight, in your workout into rest and digest faster and faster. So I think that would be helpful. Breath work is beyond, like, there's enough things out there to prove that it works. Not only nasal breathing in your cool down, but general relaxation protocols, box breathing, things like that. So maybe something I used to do a ton was like 5 minutes on the bike, nasal breathing, easy spin, damper one style, and then 5 minutes of like a guided meditation app. I always use Headspace. I have a lot of clients that like the Calm app, because I struggle to just like sit there and meditate, but it probably means I need to do it more. So I always like the guided versions, and meet yourself where you are. So if you've never done that before, you feel super silly doing it. 1, you probably need to do it more often. And 2, just start with like 2 minutes. and then slowly build over time. I would never start with like a 10-minute session. You're probably going to lose your mind or fall asleep. So start slow, build on that, see what works for you, maybe even try out a couple things, and you might find you like one thing after lifting, but you like another thing after like higher intensity Metcons. So you won't be able to figure out what works best for you until you give it a go and give it a true, honest shot. So definitely start there. And then the last thing, the very peak of the pyramid, are other recovery modalities. So these are like the fancy things you see Fitspo, inspo people on like Instagram selling, like massage guns, compression boots, all those things. There's also like other things that go in this category, like cold plunges, sauna. And it's important to do like your research on some of those things, I would say, because you want to make sure that those things aren't delaying any progress with the goals that you have. So just making sure that any little extra that you're invested in or dedicating time to, you want to make sure that it's in line with the goals that you have there. Not to say that any of those things are bad. I do love some of those things, especially a good sauna session, and getting a good sweat there too. But it's about finding what can work best for you. And remembering that that's like, honestly, the tip of the pyramid, right? If you're not getting, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I wouldn't be worried about putting your legs in a compression boots, So, again, meet yourself where you are. And if you have the means to do extra, I think that's super cool. And it's all dependent on how, committed you are to doing like whatever your goal is to make time for these things. Oftentimes I get that nice excuse of we don't have time. And it's like, well, we all have 24 hours and it's just dependent on what you can do with it. And maybe you're not 100% every day. I can almost guarantee you're not going to be, but sometimes 70% is your 100%. And it's all about like working things around to make sure you can still get it done. And, again, I don't have kids or anything like that, so I can't speak for that. And I'm not trying to sound better than anyone because I can't stand that. But I think it's important to make time for those things that you're invested and committed to and getting the most out of it, right? So that was a lot of info. To recap, that pyramid, it looks like sleep and rest at the bottom are the base, the biggest thing that's going to cover you for healthy, happy recovery. And then the next on top of that is hydration and nutrition. Above that, cool down and breath work. And then at the very peak, other recovery modalities like those massage guns, stretching, etc., etc. So hopefully this has been super helpful for you. I will include that link in the comments at some point today. I'll upload this to YouTube if you want to share it to anybody or on your own pages. That would be super helpful. I want to help as many people as I can. And then I will see you back here next Thursday. Thanks so much.